The Mapagos, a coalition of male lions, are etched into the annals of African wildlife as one of the most fearsome and dominant lion coalitions ever recorded. Their reign in the Sabi Sand Game Reserve during the 2000s was marked by unmatched power and ruthlessness. This video delves deep into their lives, their conquests, and the legacy they left behind. Through a chronological journey, we uncover the story of these legendary lions. The emergence of the Mapagos. In the heart of South Africa's famous Sabi Sand Game Reserve, during the early 2000s, a legend began to take shape. The name Mapagos would soon resonate with both fear and awe among those who frequented the region. This tale begins with a coalition of 6 young male lions that united under a single banner driven by a common objective: territorial dominance. It's not entirely clear where these lions originated, but it's widely believed that they were born in the late 1990s to different prides within the reserve. Coming together as a coalition is a strategic move for male lions. In the wild, unity is strength, especially for young lions trying to establish themselves. The more lions in a coalition, the greater their chances of taking over prides and holding large territories against rivals. The Mapagos were an unusually large coalition, which gave them an advantage from the outset. In the early stages of their alliance, the coalition was a close-knit group. Their bond was evident in the way they moved, hunted, and shared kills. During their formative years, they faced numerous challenges. Young male lions are often chased away from their natal pride by the dominant males once they reach a certain age. These young lions, termed nomads, must navigate a world fraught with danger, from other lions to limited food sources. The Mapagos, during their nomadic phase, learnt to rely on each other, solidifying their bond. Their strength and unity were evident even in their early days. They took down large prey, such as buffalo, with coordinated efforts. Their hunting skills, combined with their growing size and strength, made them a force to be reckoned with. The Mapagos weren't just hunting for sustenance, they were also honing their skills for the battles that lay ahead. As the Mapagos matured, they began to exhibit signs of territorial ambitions. Lions have natural instincts to dominate territories and take over prides, ensuring their genes are passed on to future generations. For the Mapagos, with their superior numbers, this instinct was magnified. They began to challenge the resident male lions of various prides. These confrontations were brutal. The roars of lions clashing echoed through the reserve, a signal that a battle for dominance was underway. One by one, the reigning kings of the Sabi Sand were challenged. The Mapagos, with their combined might, often proved too powerful for the resident males, who either fled or were killed. With each successful takeover, the coalition's territory expanded, and so did their reputation. Their brutal confrontations weren't limited to rival males. In several instances, they also killed lionesses and cubs of the defeated pride. While this behavior is, to a degree, natural among lions to ensure their own offspring dominate, the Mapagos' seeming ruthlessness was noted as being particularly intense. However, their dominance was not just built on brute force. Their strategic moves on the chessboard that is the Sabi Sand Reserve showcased their intelligence and adaptability. They would often split up, with some members patrolling and reinforcing their claim on one part of their territory, while others ventured out to expand or defend another section. This division of labor and territory allowed them to maintain a larger region than most other coalitions could handle. Towards the end of this initial phase of their emergence, the Mapagos had solidified their position as the reigning force in the Sabi Sand. Their territory was vast, encompassing a significant portion of the reserve. They had access to a plethora of resources, from prime hunting grounds to numerous lionesses with which to mate. Their early days had set the tone for what was to become one of the most unforgettable reigns in the history of wild lions. The territorial dominance. The vast expanse of the Sabi Sand Game Reserve is a mosaic of territories, each marked and fiercely guarded by the dominant lions that rule them. Within this patchwork of power, the emergence of the Mapagos was akin to a rising empire, and at the height of their dominance, they held sway over an astonishingly vast terrain. The story of their territorial dominance is not merely a tale of land acquisition, it's a chronicle of strategy, confrontation, and the natural drive to perpetuate their lineage. As the Mapagos began to establish themselves, they instinctively understood the value of territory. A larger territory meant more resources, a wider variety of prey, water sources, and crucially, access to prides of lionesses. But it wasn't just about size. The quality of the territory, in terms of its richness in prey and strategic value against rivals, was paramount. The Mapagos' strategy was twofold. First, they prioritized taking over territories that were resource-rich.